Yo, I move in tranquility, also virility, keep it 100, and I move with fertility, giving birth to all the truth in the seasons planet, trying to be one of the dopest kings that receive this planet, taking dominion, and I ain't got time for no minions. I just want to make this money, stack my bread up with millions, do this for my children, and do it all for my legacy. Let me see, wisdom, knowledge, long life, and longevity. I'm a king. I'm a king, I'm a king, I'm a king. Yo, what's poppin', man? Y'all know who it is, man. Y'all know what it is. It's Virility Kings podcast, guys. This is the second episode. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause, man. You know what I'm saying? For the second episode in which we're going to really dig deep and really get into this good material and good information. As y'all can see, man, and as you can hear, more than likely, the title is How to Transform Your Body. How to transform your body. How many people want to transform? We know mad people want to transform. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing, the biggest selling point right now in fitness and just, you know, in life. People want to transform in so many different ways. So we're going to dig deep on multiple facets of transforming your body, and of course it's going to focus on health and our body and things like that. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So anything y'all want to say, Tony Mac, you got anything you want to say, brother?
Back in 2012, I actually tried to be a personal trainer, and the three clients I had were two random guys I was college with and my mother. And guess who was the only one who actually took my training to made it their own and made it greater? My freaking mother. Yo.
I knew it.
One day we gotta just bring her up here, maybe bring her up 2 cents in. But that's for another story.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. What about you, Brian, man? You got anything to say? Just to start off the episode. We can't hear you, bro. Can't hear you. It might be the
my bad. Yeah, my mic.
Okay, you good now. Good money. But anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you to anybody that tuned in to the last episode, you know, and I just want to, you know, shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. And you know, we don't get this transformation video going.
For sure, man. And hey, man, I'm going to segue on that, man. Thank y'all. Thank you to every viewer, every supporter. If y'all listening to us on all the major streaming platforms, thank you. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're looking at the clips on Instagram, like it up, follow it up, subscribe it up, man, and share it up, you know, because we getting into some very valuable information. So share this. So, you know, that's dope, Brian. Salute on that. And, yeah, we definitely going to dig deep on this episode. So thank y'all for tuning in. So first thing that we're going to touch on, guys, is mindset. Mindset. How important is mindset when it comes to transforming your body? Tony Mag, let them know something.
About mindset, I want to use a military term I've learned back in the day. It's embrace the suck. So you already know off the rip, it's going to be something uncomfortable, time consuming, cost money. You got to be willing to make that sacrifice if changing your body is important to you. And everybody, we all have the same 24 hours of the day. So it's all about what you prioritize. We all have money and time for what we put first. So when you say, oh, I ain't got time for this, are you sure about that? What are you putting first? What do you always got time for? Is it really a necessary high priority? So get those priorities in order and get used to the fact that it's going to take time. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't just pop off a few push-ups and then all of a sudden you got, you know, diesel chest going on. It doesn't work that way. So appreciate the time, appreciate the sacrifice, and if you fall off, come back. It's an up and down situation.
Facts. That was powerful, Tony. I totally agree with you, man. You know, especially having that military background, you could really come with that type of solid organization. And shoot, I'm sure you got to have a serious mindset when you're in the fucking military. You got to adapt, and you got to figure out how you're gonna carry yourself in that type of environment. So that's lit, man. I totally agree with that. What you think about that, Brian? What do you think about mindset when it comes to transforming the body?
Well, definitely, wherever your mind goes, your body will follow. So I'm a strong believer in that. So you got to put your mind through it. You got to realize all your obstacles and what you're dealing with, make a constructive plan, and obviously to follow up with Tony, he made a huge point. Like I can embrace so many times, where I'm in the gym alone, and I know you guys know that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where you guys can embrace that too, because, obviously you guys come from a gym background as well. And obviously, no one's going to hold your hand through everything. No one's going to, tell you to lift it or pick it up or whatever the case is. But yeah, you got to embrace the suck, bro, whether that's the weather, the environment, your conditions. So, it's huge, bro. It's huge. Mine's
yeah,
mine's critical and everything.
for sure, man. Totally agree with that, man. And look, like that was a dope line that you said, Tony. Embrace the suck. You know, that even that's a T-shirt idea right there, man. That's my entrepreneur spirit coming in. But embrace the suck. Like a lot of people struggle. I think that's why a lot of people aren't successful with things. It's because when the suck arrives, they're like, oh shit, oh man, I got to throw in the towel, or oh man, you know what? I don't even want to do this anymore because I feel uncomfortable and I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's probably right at the space where they're going to be successful. If they were to just stick with it and keep rocking in that area, they'd probably be super successful with it. So that is a powerful point, man. Embrace the suck. Um, you know, that's dope. No pun intended. So me personally, with mindset, I think is very important, and I think that it's like number one for real. Like because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not gonna succeed. Just like what y'all are saying. But to get real specific and stuff with it, I think that when you set that mindset, you're gonna set goals. The biggest thing of mindset should be, yo, I need to set goals. I need to set specific goals that I want to achieve. They need to be reachable, attainable, realistic. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's mindset right there. You find me a person that set goals, and I'll tell you that's a person who's going to succeed and wants to succeed. So that's very important. You know what I'm saying? And
Fact.
then accepting that
Facts.
it's a sprint. I mean, it's not a sprint. It's not a
Marathon.
The
sprint.
marathon.
It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Sprint, then walk. Sprint, then walk. Don't run first. As soon as you get in the gym, don't try to go balls to the wall and hit every damn machine in there and try to deadlift 700 pounds and come out of there look like you just stepped out of Snap City. You know what I'm saying? That you ain't gonna succeed. That's a terrible mindset. So, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people they jump in the gym and they almost kill themselves because they're like, "Yo, I gotta do this. I'm ready to succeed. I'm gonna do it." And it's like, no, you're gonna fuck yourself up in the game. You know. And then with that being
They ain't
said,
got those
progress.
goals.
Yeah, for sure. And then progress, not perfection. I love that saying. I say it all the time. It's in a
Yeah,
lot of my posts. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if we don't fall in love with the progress and the actual little steps and the little progress that we're making, we'll just step right over it and we'll eventually give up because it's like, yo, what's the point? You know?
Right? But
If
the,
we
the point is to actually be there taking those baby steps every day. That is the point.
exactly, that's the prize.
yeah,
That's the actual valuable gem in the situation. It's just like life. You know what I'm saying? Life. Each day is a blessing. Each day, that each little piece is the
facts,
part that we should
facts.
enjoy. Cause say we turn 80 years old and we just was like, oh well, one day I'm gonna be out of here, and we ain't really appreciate each little day. It's like, damn, what were you living for? What did you really experience in life? So yeah, man, that's a big one right
I,
there for sure.
I would say practice makes permanence, not perfection.
Ooh, ooh, that's nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Expound on that,
Because
bro. Expound on that.
I would say, because when you stay permanent with it, right, and you're practicing it, you're constantly going to be in there hitting those little things you were talking about, like doing those little things that are going to be time consuming. It's going to be nagging. Of course, you're not going to want to do it some days, but when you develop that permanence, that practice, that perseverance, you're going to stay with it. You're going to, no matter how tough it gets.
Facts. Totally
Quick
agree.
question. Quick question for all three of us. How long have everyone been training personally? Me, I've been doing it for over 17 years now.
Okay, yeah, that's dope, man. That's that expert range right there. Once you hit, once you hit over 10 years, you a master at this shit, man, and that's dope.
That's more than ten
Um,
thousand hours.
hell yeah. But it shows. It shows, man, the level of strength that you have, and when I see you, hitting those heavy weights like that, it shows that you've acclimated consistency and you've learned and accepted a strategy that works for you in terms of strength. So I admire that shit about you too, bro.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I will say one thing though. I noticed a lot of people getting discouraged because of their mindset, thinking that they should be hitting those bigger weights. Obviously, you know what I'm saying.
yes,
And I want to say to those viewers, don't get discouraged. Don't look at somebody else and think that you need to be doing that. Obviously, everybody has their own weights and their own goals and their own, obviously what we've been saying, having goals and being persistent with that. And that's a good thing that you said that, because obviously, everyone's gonna have a different experience level.
facts, bars. Okay, Brian came to play today. He like, yo, y'all gonna be messed up. Like, I'm gonna spit some bars today. That's real, dog. And I totally agree with that for
It
sure.
shows though, Tony. It shows. It shows.
Yeah.
I like to tell people, don't think I fell out of the sky someday and they're, oh no, 400 pounds. Let me see if I can do it. Yeah, it's good. You're only seeing, not to big up myself. Please don't expect that. I want everyone to be on the same road of greatness. That's why we're
Yeah.
talking about this. So it's like you're only seeing the peak of the iceberg versus, and this is a training day. It's not a show off day. I go to the gym
Mm,
to train and develop, not to show off. And yeah, I just want people to appreciate that, and I try to tell them point blank. But you can't get that mindset is all delusional. Looking at the superficial too much is like that's where you get discouraged. Like, nah, you.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning. It's 1:30 in the morning. Freaking sometimes we waking at midnight, 3 o'clock in the morning. Freaking
mm,
just getting up and going. Like y'all ain't seeing all that. You just see a
Exactly.
dude. You're seeing a dude rep 400 pounds. Okay, big deal. But it's like, what did he do to get there?
exactly.
Fast.
Facts, super facts. And that's the thing. Like, I think that we've been taught to think that way too by the media. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's been the media's tool to control the masses for years. You know what I'm saying? It's all about showing us the glamorous and the glitz, but not really showing us what it takes to even get there, or even getting knowledge on how to attain that type of success. And it's in all facets of life: fitness, financial success, relational success. You watch movies, you watch all these different things, and the information that we're watching and getting is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's it's make believe. So I totally agree on that, bro. Me personally, when it comes to training, of course we all been working out for a while, more than likely. But I first started. The first time I ever tried to bench press, I was 15 years old, and I couldn't even do 135. You know what I'm saying? I never forget it. I tried to push that shit, and I could not do it at all. And that set me back. It actually discouraged me. I was like, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? There's other dudes in there with me. They just repping it out, and I'm like, damn. That shows how easy it is that we can be discouraged. But to make a long story short,
Yeah.
um, I ended up getting back into it at about 21 years old. Still didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but I started doing more things and I started to kind of learn a little. But I've been seriously lifting and doing it right probably for a consistent 4.5, 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I like to say it, because I'm not gonna sit here and say the first day I picked up a weight, that's when I started. You know what I'm saying? Because it just doesn't make sense. It's not realistic. But I started solid with knew what I was doing probably about 4 to 5 years ago. What about you, bro?
Honestly, I would probably say about the same, about 4 or 5 years, because I would say like through high school and like a little bit after high school, like obviously I was putting up some good weight, but I don't feel like I really knew what diet was and all that, and what rest time was, and a lot of certain circumstances and variables that I didn't really understand fully till I started getting a little bit more experience, more dialed in to like certain basically workouts, because obviously when you start training for certain goals or certain things, you want to dial into that. So obviously, it's just hard. It's like I would say I've been training consistently though for like 4 years, 4 years, to where like I know like what muscles to hit and yeah, just dialing to what my goals are, because your goals are different and Tony's goals are different.
Exactly. Exactly. I didn't honestly when I started lifting, I ain't have no goals. I just was like, all right, bet I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna grab the dumbbell, I'm gonna do some curls, and then I'm gonna get on the Smith machine, and I'm gonna do some whatever. You know what I'm saying? Do legs. You know what I'm saying? I was doing everything on the same day, and I'd only do like maybe 2 sets. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm sure it's a lot of people that go through that. And guys, if you fall in that category, listen, you got three guys who have been doing it for a good amount of time, have seen results, have noticeable results that people could look at and be like, okay, wow, that's impressive. So you're listening to a good podcast, and this topic is a great topic for you if you fall into that for sure. So, all right, so the next bullet that I really want us to focus on is diet awareness. Like, how important is diet awareness? And I'm gonna go ahead and start us off with that one, right? And here's the thing, like, I think one of the biggest things with your body, especially when it comes to aesthetics, if you don't have some type of grasp or idea about your diet and what you're putting in your body and how much of what you're putting in your body, you're gonna lose control in terms of how your body actually looks in terms of appearance. But not even just that, and we're gonna dig deeper later on, other areas of transforming the body because it's not just looks, strength, health, uh, a number of things. But diet is key. Diet is
Yeah,
very important, and you have
I
to be
agree.
aware of what you're putting in your body. You got to know what you're putting in your body. I think a big tip with diet awareness would be to focus on natural foods. You know what I'm saying? Try to get at least 80 to 90% of your food in that's pretty natural, pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? Like, focus and learn how to cook your food. Like, cook food, and find ways to make it good and palatable for you. Because at the end of the day, you want to adhere. So, if you want to really transform your body, then you want to make your food taste the way that you want it to taste. So you'll keep eating it that way. And then you'll know what you're putting in your body. You'll know what kind of
Yeah,
quality of food you eating and putting into your body. And that'll give you a greater grasp on transforming that body because you know what you're putting in your body. You're aware and you can see it. You know what I'm saying? Um, Also, I would say don't do cheat days. Like fuck a cheat day. You know what I'm saying? Do a cheat meal. You know what I'm saying? Do cheat meals. There's nothing wrong with having like a meal that you could just smash that you enjoy and you really like and makes your heart sing. You know what I'm saying? Get get you a cheat meal. You know what I'm saying? That's actually very good for your sanity and it'll help with adherence. If you're somebody who really loves to go out to eat, if you're somebody that really loves fast food, if you're somebody that really love all this shit, well look, it ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of sprinkle on top of the cupcake. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna kill you. It'll
Did you say
actually help
you
you
say
adhere.
cupcake?
Yeah, no pun intended. But ain't nothing wrong with a little. It ain't nothing wrong with a little something in the mix. You'll still get goals achieved and accomplished with transforming your body. So diet awareness is very important, and I don't see you really transforming the way you want to if you're not aware of your diet and what that's doing to your body. You know what I'm saying? So what you think about that, Tony? Or what's your view on diet awareness and the importance of it for transforming the body?
I know it's going to sound weird coming from a 300-pound dude, but when it comes to diet, I really keep it broad stroke, high protein, smart carbs, just avoid the grease, and that's my baseline menu for a lot of things I do. And I'm not afraid to throw down on a pizza whenever the opportunity arises. Hey man, you want a slice of pizza? Sure, I'll get that slice of pizza. And it's like I don't know. I get a lot of push from a smaller statue guys who believe that I guess for them they know for to attain my size, let's call it that, they have to eat like thousands of calories, and I'm over here like I barely eat any of that. That's intip. You got me shook. How about you talk about eating? And I mean, about a lot of my other bodybuilding people, they eat like they throw down on food. And this other guy, he's a powerful dude, powerful, got a well chiseled body. And when I told him just my little daily menu, he's like, "There is no way you're that big by eating just that little." I, and so I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those marble cuts of meat out there. Maybe that's what it is. But
How long?
I try to.
I don't
Just,
mean to cut you off. My bad. But like, how long have you been eating like that?
I really did not have a strong diet. My diet discipline didn't really start coming in until like mid college, where I actually focused on my eating. Like my time during the Marine Corps, I just ate whatever, and but I was still like 260 pounds trying to keep up with everybody else. I'm just a big body, heavy dude. And on that note, when I want to talk to like the big body people. You know, you're a big, burly, heavyweight guy. You know, weight loss is an issue for you. How about not? I dare throw this card out there. How about not? Focus on your strength about being a big, powerful dude. Double down on that because there's a lot of smaller statue dudes who they will go into the diet thing so they be more ripped, they can run fast and all that good shit. No shame to them, but that's sticking to their strength. Okay, you're a big dude, you know you're strong. Stick to your strength. Freaking, you're there to freaking tackle a damn grizzly bear. That's what your body type is for. You tackle a grizzly bear. You see 400 pounds and you're like, okay, let me warm up with this. You know, embrace it.
There you go, Magnum. There you go.
Yeah, that's that magnum status.
I'm just saying,
And that
I see
embrace it.
you, boy.
That's that little hashtag on there. Witness the thickness. Make a yeah, there it is.
facts. Listen, I love that energy. I love that energy. That's why I like we have to be that way. And I think that that has a lot to do with like love too, like loving yourself and understanding your position that you play in this world and in whatever situation and value that. Even going back to what Brian was saying earlier, like don't be looking at other people and comparing yourself or trying to measure up to them. Like, why the fuck are you trying to measure up to them? Measure up to
Yeah,
your own standard and measure up
yeah,
to, you know, what works for you and what makes you a valuable player. Like, and that's powerful, bro. Cause
It's like people trying to the monkey, he's good at climbing trees, but he's jealous of the fish that can swim. So the monkey's out there like, oh yeah, but you can't do this. Why does the fish got to worry about that? The fish just swimming. You know,
facts.
and that's an unfair comparison to the monkey. He's doing himself mental damage because he's worried about what a fish can do. He's proficient that way. Stick to what you're good at. Get up that damn tree.
Yes. I love it, man. I love that shit. That's real shit for sure. So Brian, what you think, man? What's your view on that view? Like diet awareness. Um, like how important is that to transform the body? What do you think about that?
I would say a lot of what you said, Superman, is get comfortable with, eating whole foods, healthy foods. Get comfortable with cooking your meals, seasoning your meals, prepping your
Yes.
meals if you can. Obviously, everyone's on a time crunch, and I get that. But if you have healthier alternatives, even with restaurants or certain things like that, take those options as opposed to cheaper meals because in the longer run, it's going to benefit your fitness and your health and everything like that. So, diet plays a huge part in that. And I would say also, I live by like a 80-20 rule. So, like, I will have maybe 20% of something that I know isn't probably the best for me, but I know I'm having some type of cravings. Everybody has their cheat days and their cravings and certain things that they go to, and that's okay. But, I would say obviously for the majority, at least 80% or higher of like healthier foods, foods that are fueling you, giving you a boost of energy, fueling your workouts, your recoveries, your sleep, everything like that. So, that's basically how I see diet. But I also want to add one more thing. I would say eat more greens because it's going to help a lot of your digestive tract and a lot of problems that you might see, like going on in your systems or something like that you're not used to. Even I've noticed eating more greens and applying more greens or telling people to eat more greens, they feel better, they feel more energized, they feel more like alert. And I've noticed too, like a lot, like watching a lot of other YouTube experienced lifters, I've noticed that they've been adding a lot more greens into their diet because before they weren't. They were just, carbs, protein, carbs, protein, carbs, protein. So I would say, try to add, a cup of spinach, cup of kale, cup of, anything like that, because I feel like that's going to enhance your body. It's going to give you more minerals, you know, allow your body and your fuel to run, correctly through you faster and easily. Your digestive tract's mainly the one that's going to take the huge blow on anything like that, giving your body the nutrition that it needs. So that's basically how I see diet. Sorry for getting so long.
Oh no, it's all good, bro. Express that, bro. And I totally agree. That's very powerful what you're saying, because I think a lot of people miss out on a lot of benefits that they could be experiencing just because of their diet isn't on point. So like, and I had to learn that as time progressed, even with my bodybuilding career, or well, not really a career, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like my journey, like I had to learn. I'm like, yo, when I eat this, I feel absolutely amazing when I eat this shit. When I eat this shit,
Yep.
I feel like I can't even go up a flight of steps without. And I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm about to pass out. I ain't even made it to
That's
the
true.
second floor yet, and I'm about to pass out. And it's like,
You're all
yo,
sweating. You're like,
sweating and shit, palms, underarms itching and shit. I'm like, damn, the hell is going on? You know what I'm saying? And like, I just,
On that note,
yeah,
food is fuel. So you have to
facts.
eat. When it comes to eating clean, doesn't mean necessarily me eating uh, greens every day. Not to discredit that, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
you have to understand
yeah,
how you're
yeah.
fueling your body. And I think that's one of the principles I use. I like to eat, make sure I'm fueled up for the workout, fueled up for the day.
That's
I
powerful.
want to say one thing. I want to say one thing on that. I, I say find what works for you. Find what diet works for you.
Bingo.
Not everyone's gonna have the same diet. Not everyone's gonna follow the same plans. Not everyone's gonna be on the same alignment. Just with our journeys and stuff like that, the diet the same way. Like everyone's gonna be on a diet towards something better, or what they think might help them or fuel them better.
True, true.
Facts. That's a huge fact, because everybody's different. Even with adherence, like when I was talking about adherence earlier, that's the biggest part. If you're not going to adhere to some type of plan, you ain't gonna transform your body. Your body gonna look the same. You're gonna be one of those dudes that's in Planet Fitness or one of these gyms, and you've been in there for
Exactly.
3 fucking years, and you don't see any changes whatsoever. No changes in strength, no changes in aesthetics, no changes in how you feel, or nothing. Um,
Just there to be there.
exactly. Just to take up space and pay a membership. And it's like what you
Yeah.
saying, Brian, that's how important it is to accept who you are as an individual and what works for you. I know some
Yeah.
dudes, listen, I know some dudes. Okay, I'll use Chad Ochocinco Johnson. Y'all know who that is, right? Chad Ochocinco. He played in the
I've heard of
NFL.
him. I heard
Um,
of him.
well,
He's
there's a
got the quick
podcast.
feet. He's so fast.
Oh, he's a beast.
He's a wide
He's a
receiver.
beast. Yes,
Oh,
He
football.
eats off the line. I seen him.
that man
He
is a
eats off
beast.
the line.
And
Yeah.
he eats listen, he eats McDonald's. And I don't know if y'all ever seen the podcast I Am Athlete, right? But if y'all haven't seen it, y'all gotta check the podcast out. It's great. But it's some NFL players that were beasts in the NFL, and they just come together and talk about real things for men, which is dope. I like it a lot. But Chad Johnson, his whole thing is like, yo, I ate McDonald's my whole career, and it did not stop me. I felt healthy. I performed excellently, and I was a great player. And then you got what's his name, Brandon, right? Another great player from Pittsburgh, my hometown. He was like, "Yo, that's terrible. No, you need to be eating a very healthy diet to perform better, to feel better, and to execute whatever it is you want to execute with your body." So that's a big common debate with them, right? Um, and the thing is like Brian is saying, you have to do what works for you. If that shit worked for Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and this man is one of the best wide receivers to ever play the game, shit, it worked for him. So
Yeah.
it's all about finding things that work for you. You might like okay, and another thing, since we're talking about diet, I may as well make this announcement. So I just started the ketogenic diet yesterday, right?
Okay.
Did day
Nice.
one. I've been preparing myself for it. That means I was eating all types of bullshit for the last 2 weeks on purpose to prepare my mindset for this shit, right? Got all of that out. I'm tired of it. I don't want another slice of pizza for at least 3-4 months. Um,
Good shit.
and I'm excited.
You
I'm excited
had to
about
get it out your
this
system.
diet. Yes, Brian. I had to get it out, dog. Cause, I went and got everything. I told my wife, I'm like, babe, you don't even want to know how much money I spent on food. You don't want to know all the spots that I went to, babe. I literally went everywhere that I could think of because I wanted to get it out my system. And I suggest anyone who loves out to eat, I suggest that you do that too. But anyway, with the ketogenic diet, I chose to do it because it's feasible for me to achieve the goal I want to achieve. I want to get down to 215 pounds. I'm currently 244 when I woke up. And the ketogenic diet literally turns your body into a fat burning machine. And your body will utilize ketones, which literally, comes from fat. Well, it'll use fat for energy. And that's how you're going to be burning fat. You're literally going to be burning fat while you sleep, while you working out, while you walking around and doing light activity. And I think that that's great for me right now for what I want to do. So that's a good example. When
That
it comes to
aligns with
diet
you.
and awareness, yeah, it aligns with me right now. And I'm amazed off of what I'm feeling already with day two. I'm already down 4.5 pounds, man. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of that is water, but it's dope. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
find what works for you. For some people, keto might work for them. For some people, the Atkins diet might work for them. Plant
Yep.
based might work for some people.
Yep.
Vegan, you know what I'm saying? Carnivore.
Yep. Yep.
So if you want to transform, learn yourself, figure out what's going to work for you in terms of diet. You know what I'm saying? And I love that we took a good amount of time on that, man, because that's so important. Diet is important when it comes to transforming the body. There's no
Yeah.
transformation is going to happen if you don't have some type of awareness of your diet. So that was a dope one. Now let's get into a more specific area of the body and transforming it. And I'm very excited about this point here too. Strength. And I was just talking to Tony and talking
Oh
about
yeah.
Tony and how strong he is. He's definitely, the
Oh
top
yeah.
dude in here,
Oh
saying
yeah.
concerning that.
Oh
I,
no,
I'm
no.
a personal trainer. I know how to. I understand the science of strength, and once I get to that point and I'm ready to work on strength, I will get strong as fuck. But that's not the phase that I'm in right now. But um, definitely want Tony Mag to start this off because he's strong as an ox. You know what I'm saying? So strength. How
I
like
like that.
how how to how to transform the body with strength. How can we do this, Tony?
With strength. Well, if you want to lift heavier weight, you need to lift heavier weight. Uh,
Ooh.
and I try to keep it as simple and practical as possible. I know there's a lot of, you know, YouTube, bodybuilding.com, yada 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 information about it. But I guess my raw experience of training, and then I had that. Then I went into the college phase where I did want to be personal trainer, to try to be a PE teacher when they're teaching that stuff. And it's like in the book, they're saying it this way. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm far off from this point of the book. So that that raw experience is what basically made me me.
Mm.
So I just followed the what's called the overload principle. Okay, didn't read a college book and just made sense. Okay, you got a certain I like to call it building a foundation. So you find out what weight you can do. Forgive me, not I don't have a college big brain, but you find out what weight
It's
you
all
can
good.
do about that 8, 10 rep, where you don't want to just fly right through it like this. That's nothing. You want to feel that little bit of struggle, that significant amount of weight where it's like, okay, I got to focus a little bit. So you find that weight that's about, I don't know, 10 to 8 reps you can do. Establish that as your baseline. So that's the weight you start your first working set. Then on that, you add more weight. You want to see the weight go like this. Mm, all right. For the next set. Mm, for the next set. You want that struggle. That's what you want. I told this to a damn female before, and she was like, "I don't know. My workout's not making me sore and everything. Have you tried adding weight?" So I told her that, and then next thing you know, she's coming back telling me, "Oh my God, that worked." Well, no shit. That now you're putting your muscles to work rather than just. It's. I'm not trying to slam the lightweight more rep concept. It's about the idea of you're doing it where you actually are working the muscle versus just waiting till your arm gets tired. You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
that's that's where I'm trying to. That's why I try to tell people build it up, and then after you do that core strength pushing to get that heaviest working set in, then at the end of that you could probably just do those final reps to rep it out, drop the weight down, then you can rep those out. But you want to build that pyramid first. Build that pyramid first.
Got you.
And
Wow,
that
that's
that
powerful.
and I use that principle for all my muscle groups. That's the baseline for all my muscle groups.
Got you.
I
Wow.
like that.
So and when I like what you was talking about too, when you were pretty much talking about like gradually uh making it more difficult per set. So you want to start off with kind of like a and then you want to start with and you want it to increase. So it sounds like to me that you're saying you want either the muscle to be more taxed per set, or you want to increase the intensity. So it
It's
could either be like the weight, or it could be like the muscle actually being taxed. So maybe a shorter rest break, maybe.
shorter rest breaks. There's nothing wrong with that. I know my discipline is in the powerlifting field, but I don't really
Mm.
take long breaks where you see, you got those memes out there where the dude just sitting there, he's all wrapped up, just chilling, and it's like
Yeah.
5 hours later, okay, I'm ready for my next set. No, it's not like that. But you want to, just breathe a little bit, have just that little breath. All right, here we go again. You don't want to cool down.
Mm. Got you.
Basically, what you're saying is the because of how heavy the weight's getting each set, the tempo has to slow down. Your
Mm.
It's
tempo
going
on
to.
each rep has to slow down. Yeah, it has to.
And people have to accept when you do strength, cardio, whatever, when you focus more on one area, then other area is going to suffer. It's just the common knowledge of the situation. So if
Facts.
you want the bigger numbers, you're going to have to train in a bigger style and accept the fact, yes, you're going to gas out a little bit. But when you start seeing that little escalation right there, here's your little pyramid. When you start doing it, those reps are going to get smoother and you're able to do more reps. Then guess what? Boom, you increase it. Then
So periodization.
once those start getting smoother,
Periodization.
boom, boom, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. So sounds like you're talking about like linear periodization, or like overload, like you said earlier, overload, like so
Overload.
and are you saying specifically putting more weight on each set?
Yes, put more weight on each set. Get your muscles used to pushing the heavier weight. Then, as they
Got
get
you.
used to that, then all of a sudden that 135 is too light. You're going to have to bump it up, and that now your baseline is increasing.
Powerful, man. Powerful information on that, brother.
That's
Um,
huge.
so and everything that you say, I agree with totally with that. I think also another area where we could look at in terms of transforming our level of strength is uh, it segues off of what you're saying, but focusing on that heavy weight and doing less reps per set to train the nervous system. You know what I'm saying? To get your nervous system acclimated to that heavy weight, because we don't understand how important our nervous system is when it comes to any type of lifting, any type of pushing, or pulling when it comes to us exerting strength. If our nervous system is blown, we could actually blow our nervous system out if we're going too hard or over training.
Mm.
So when we teach our nervous system how to get used to heavy weight, it has to adapt. It has to adapt to that. And I think another approach in terms of getting stronger is finding what your one rep max is. And shit, if you want to do one workout, do do 10 sets of your one rep max on whatever movement you want to increase your strength in, and do a nice rest break in between those sets, because your nervous system has to rest. It has to recover. And I think that's the biggest part of strength. Your nervous system is going to adapt to that, your muscles. Listen, neuromuscular chemistry is important when
Ooh,
it comes to strength. Yes, neuromuscular chemistry, meaning everything that we do in terms of performing force or exercising our muscles, contraction and everything, this shit is all neural, yo. It our brain sends information through our nervous system to each limb of our body or whatever we're trying to activate. You know what I'm saying? Just like if we boom, if I'm flexing on them, that is a neural, pretty much neurochemistry, and it's neuromuscular. So the nervous system is important when it comes to strength. So also find things that's gonna bless your nervous system, that's gonna heal your nervous system. Herbs, y'all know, y'all see the tank top I got on. Herbs over steroids, y'all know the movement. HOS.
Yeah.
Guys, herbs are powerful. There are herbs out there that can heal your nervous system, heal your adrenal glands. These are important when it comes to strength. And listen, if y'all want to support the herbs over steroids movement, go to fasttrainhill.com. All right, fasttrainhill.com and grab you whatever you want. You want a sweatsuit, tank top, hat. We got more things that we're gonna drop too with herbs over steroids, but spread the movement. Anyway, herbs, ashwagandha, fenugreek. There's powerful herbs out there that can bless your nervous system and help you perform and become stronger. So think about that when it comes to strength too, y'all. Your nervous system and learning how to build that nervous system up to be more explosive in the strength and your movements. So, all right, Brian, what you got for us, man, with strength and how to transform the body in strength?
I definitely agree a lot with what Tony is saying because I do a lot of like overload training, but I just wanted to go into a little bit depth with it. Like I noticed that when I do have, a little bit longer rest time, not 5 minute rest time, but obviously not like I'm doing hypertrophy movements, I'm doing strength training movements. I do take
Mm,
longer times in between my bigger sets just to give my nervous system more time to breathe and more of my muscles more time to breathe to get ready for that next big set. Because obviously it's tough. It's tough hitting big weights when you know that you got to get under something heavy. It's uncomfortable.
yeah,
For a lot of people, I for me, I live in that uncomfortability now. I look for it. Like I want to go after it now. So I will say longer rest times, and I would say shorter rep movements, obviously, because I try to focus my rep range from like 5 reps usually, around 5 reps, and if I'm going for like heavy sets, I'll shoot for 3, 2, 1, but that's on my last set, and that's if I'm really pushing the tone and the tempo on my strength and trying to see real strength gains and real strength numbers. But I definitely drop my reps. I don't stay high in reps, and that's when I'm warming up too. Like because I've seen a lot of younger dogs out there that will just burn out so much on 135 that when they're going to lift that heavier weight and they're trying, to attempt something heavy, like for whatever their case, maybe 275, 315, they grab it off the bar and they're already spent because they was already doing, you know, 50 reps with 135 or,
yeah. Tax that
80 for
muscle.
80 reps with 135. And now their nervous system's taxed. They can't do it. So
Mhm.
I would find a perfect way to warm up to where you're not spending yourself completely and you're able to conserve some of that energy for your strength and your working set.
Man, that's powerful, Brian, man. Super focused. And I like how you pointed out the rest periods too, because that is very important. And then even what you were saying, Tony, I believe you said like eight rep range, 8 to 10 somewhere, or 8 and 9 reps or something like that. There's actually studies that show that you can get stronger going anywhere from 1 to about 8 reps. I think that the sweet spot is about 3 to 5. I think, if I'm not mistaken. But obviously we can
Yeah,
get stronger if we're
somewhere
in
around
that
there.
8 to 9 to 10 rep range as well. Um,
Yeah,
it's and it's all like we were saying earlier too. It's all about the individual. It's all about genetics. It's all about how the person's body adapts to different things. We all adapt to shit differently. There's no such thing as us all adapting to one thing exactly the same. That's impossible. So, man, I love that. I love that we was able to dig deep on that strength part because strength. Listen, I'm gonna say this too. no matter what it is that we're trying to do or trying to transform in, we have to focus on a focus. Like we have to say, okay, I want to build strength. I'm going to focus on strength for this period of time. Say you want to focus on strength for 4 months. Say you want to focus on it for 9 months. I'm going to focus on aesthetics and getting as lean as possible and as cut as possible. We need to focus on a time frame for that. There ain't no such thing as trying to do both. There's ways that you can kind of get around it, but it's not. We're not going to fully succeed on it because we're conflicting. We're doing two things at once that don't. That it's just not physically possible to do it at a great potential at the same time. So
Correct.
like, I think that's a big thing that people
It
need to
would
focus on
take
too.
a lot of discipline to do that. You would have to have everything
Hell yeah.
dialed in, micromanaged, a coach. I think everything just dialed into a T if he was going to take that route.
And you might
Hell
have to
yeah.
be, and you might have to be like one of those genetically blessed hosses out there. Just bam, got pink muscle all day.
For sure. Or you can go in the direction of steroids, and we know we don't want to do that. So,
Nah.
um, but even those guys,
Nah,
because I've had a lot of guys come into my DM because of this movement. You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to kind of invest a little bit on ads with Instagram. So I'm trying to push it out there. And I'm getting different DMs from people and I'm hearing different feedback on it. And the guys that are doing steroids, their whole thing, and which is true, I agree with them. They said, listen, just because we're using enhancements, or one guy in particular, he said, just because we're using enhancements, it doesn't mean that we just get glorious bodies and we ain't got to do shit. Like, yo, if anything, we probably got to work harder than y'all to attain specifically what it is that we're trying to attain because it enhances us and it helps us, but we still have to do the work. So, I mean, it's true. You know what I'm saying? Either
yeah.
way it goes, there's no way around not doing the work. So,
I look at
to each his
Ronnie
own.
Coleman, for example. He still said that he was waking up in the middle of the night at like 2 in the morning just to get a meal down.
Damn. Wow.
You got to pay the cost to be the boss. So no
Yeah,
disrespect to people who do steroids. I guess my little thing coming to an average Joe who's just stepping in the gym. Don't look at that until you're absolutely ready to commit to that lifestyle. Do you have a foundation of
yeah,
what you know you can do before you
Facts.
take that route? That's elite level. I'm going. No, there's no turning back.
Yes.
yep.
Yes. If you do go in that direction, yeah, like you said, be well, versed about it and do your research and understand it. Also, I want to say this: just because I'm pushing this, it doesn't mean that I'm like I have a problem with people who choose to use enhancements. I think in certain situations and scenarios, it may actually be beneficial, especially for men. You know what I'm saying? If we're reaching that certain age and it's very, very hard for us to produce the amount of testosterone that's necessary to enjoy, virility. If we can't enjoy that virility because we're at that age where we're not producing enough testosterone, if we can't achieve the physiques that we want, hormonally, then you might need to look into some TRT or some testosterone replacement therapy to help with that. Like, I understand that. Even shit, I don't know about y'all, but I don't care how old I get, y'all. I'm trying to be on point. You know what I'm saying? I want to be 65 years old, still, looking pretty damn decent for my age. So, and I'm still probably gonna want to train. So, with that being said, I probably will might have to tap into it. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But
I,
that's my view on it.
I will say on that, I will say on that note, sorry, I will say on that note, if you do take that route, make sure that you're like, you're getting your blood work done, you're seeing your doctor frequently,
Oh yeah.
you're taking extra precautions with that because obviously that's something not to be played with. A lot of
Hell
people
no.
die off steroids.
A lot. A lot. And it's women too. It ain't just men. That's the thing. That's one of the biggest misconceptions too. Women are dying out here, man, abusing steroids. It's a lot of women that are taking them. And a lot of pro bodybuilders, females, are dying, unfortunately. So it's a real thing. So y'all listening to what Brian's saying, man. If you do decide to go in that direction, man, be on point. Make get your levels checked. Make sure you understand your
Yeah.
body and what the hell is going on. All right, y'all. So the next one we're gonna get into is aesthetics. this is what everybody love, and this is what everybody's focus is on. Like, how can I transform my body in terms of aesthetics? How can I, blah 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 blah. So, um, let's see. You know what? I'll go ahead and start it off. I'll start it off. So, how to transform the body with aesthetics? Okay, first and foremost, we know that what's pretty much considered aesthetic is the level of leanness, how lean you look, how symmetrical your muscles are. It's all about aesthetics. It's all about how you look. Um, I think that one of the main keys is going to be to, for one, get lean. You know what I'm saying? Develop a decent body fat percentage so that you can, for one, see what your body even look like. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, a lot of us, man, I done been there, and I've seen a lot of people where, like even right now, my body fat percentage, like I'm doing a little better than I was a few months ago. But last year, I think I was like 12%. So I could see my body better. Um, and that kind of helped me see where I need to improve, what I need to, step up, what's lacking, what muscles are lacking, where do I need to balance. But anyway, that's the first step. Get lean, you know what I'm saying? And the way that you get lean is by diet, being at a caloric deficit, and you know, that's the biggest key. You're not gonna get lean unless you're at a caloric deficit. So gradually lower that. Render some type of benefits with your first caloric deficit. Start small. It's not a sprint. Start off small and start to lose weight and see and watch how those pounds come down. That's very important. And then your training. Focus on conditioning that a lot of people, especially your average lifter, looks past is conditioning. And I did it for years. But and when I say conditioning, I don't mean like boxing and like cardio conditioning. I'm talking about muscular conditioning, building your muscles, right? So that means doing a good amount of volume and doing a decent amount of rep range, and gradually starting off high and then coming down with each set and adding weight. This is how you can condition your muscles, and this is how you can really prepare your muscles to gain more symmetry, right? So focus on conditioning and being at a caloric deficit. So I'm gonna give you a good example of what I mean. So say you're on the bench press, right? You want your first set to be about 20 reps, and then you want your second set to be 15, and then you want your third set to be 12, and then you want your fourth set to be 10. As you go to each set, add a little weight that you can push on it. That's gonna work and help you condition that muscle. I'm telling you, it's gonna really, really help you out. So having a decent volume, having a decent amount of intensity, that will help your body look a lot better and a lot more symmetrical. Make sure you're hitting all muscle groups in multiple ways and fashions and angles. That's going to help you transform that body in aesthetics. You have to
I
hit
agree with
different
that
angles on
100%.
each muscle. If you ain't hitting angles, you're not going to hit that muscle in every single area and fiber to make yourself look way more aesthetic. So that's very important. Um, so yeah, you be at a caloric deficit, whether it's with cardio or a lower caloric intake. Be at a caloric deficit and make sure that you are training. I recommend with conditioning, I recommend you go to the gym 6 days a week, straight up. Like if you're gonna do conditioning, depending on what split you do. But you could do push pull legs, and I don't want to get too long winded on this, guys. But you could do push pull legs. You could do different splits that work very well for improving your aesthetics. But I think that's the best way to do it. And then yeah, being at a caloric deficit and lowering your body fat. Then once you lower that body fat, look at your body, see what you need to work on, and then commence to working. Get to work. Start focusing on your weak areas and hit them motherfuckers first as soon as you hit the gym. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, I think that's one of the key or some valuable keys that'll help you transform your body aesthetically. All right. So, what you think, Tony? What's your view on that, man, in terms of aesthetics and
What
improving?
aesthetics? Well, I guess I gotta represent the big boy club.
Oh,
There is a certain mold and a certain build of the big burly dude. There's a certain there's an aesthetic quality to them as well.
Ooh.
Um, I want to throw sumo wrestlers under the bus right here because you see those dudes and the Rikishi. So you don't have to even question about their strong. You know they're strong. It's because of their bodies and the aesthetic thereof. So there is an
Yeah.
aesthetic value in I don't want to. It's like I'm not trying to knock on the sexy abs because go ahead, have them. But there's an aesthetic quality when it comes to the burliness. When I step into most of my new scenes, new groups of people and whatnot, it's automatically that's the big guy. And it's like low key, I get it, but it's like, hey, I'm here to do what I got to do. But it's like, damn man, you going to the gym much? I get the let's say compliments that way a lot of times, and
Yeah.
it's like it's because of the constant training, and doing the methods that we discussed throughout the video, just the lifting, the eating, and everything. And then when you have that certain mold, that certain build, that burliness, it's just people will know. So if you want to make a statement, I'll just put this all general, work on your body and your body will mold to your training and it will get known. It will get known. Whether
Oh,
that be you, so you can walk around with a nice little gut like I got going on and it's still like, so what do I need to do with the gym?
yeah. Facts. That's a fact, bro. I know women who
Fact,
like bigger
fact.
dudes. And I know a lot of guys who
Yep.
want to be big and brolic like that. Like, um, the, and it's funny. Okay, so remember last episode I was talking about estrogen, right? Remember when I was saying talking about body fat, and I was saying a higher body fat percentage can cause higher levels of estrogen, right?
Mhm.
Um, it's because of something called aromatase, which sits in fat cells. But here's the thing: like somebody like you, Tony, you're big, man, but you got a lot of muscle mass. So like, though you might have a higher, a somewhat of a higher fat body fat percentage, you have a lot of muscle to match with that. So I think that's what saves you in a lot of ways in terms of aesthetics. And some people, some men
Yeah, I
actually
agree.
desire that. Some men desire that huge,
A
strong
bigger
power
stature.
man structure. Yeah. And like you said, it does have a sense of aesthetics. And I know some chicks that'll go wild, you know what I'm saying, over some bigger guys. I know women who actually told me that. I'll never forget. I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
What?
I was like, yo, I got abs right now. What the hell you talking about? I got a six pack right here. You said talk about you like a wider guy. Man, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a market out there with women for bigger brolic guys. A lot of women, it turns them on. There's women who really like that. So just
Shoot.
something to put out there.
I hear all this crap from women. They after I do, show them that I have the balls to tell them no, then all of a sudden he's fat and he's ugly. I'm like, yeah, okay. I've been fat and ugly since the fourth grade, sweetheart. You're a little late.
Facts. You got to tell them like that, man. You got to tell them. So so Brian, what's your view, man, on these aesthetics, man, and really transform the body in aesthetics.
Well, with what both of y'all said, I feel like we have to figure out what aesthetics we want to acquire. Like
Mm,
what aesthetic goal we want exactly, what aesthetics goal we're going after. Because, obviously everyone's going to have, like, someone's going to want a bigger statue like Tony. Maybe someone's going to want more aesthetics on the abs or the shoulders or more of that 3D look. So I would want,
absolutely.
or female. Maybe a female wants to be thicker and another female wants to be skinnier on the waist. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of females even have different preferences as well, like on being thicker or being skinnier. So
Facts.
I just feel like we have to find out what aesthetics works for us and what we want. So then that way we can go after that. And I will say through my experience, because like I've always wanted abs. I've always wanted to have that V taper, that 3D look. That's just my goals, my aesthetics. That's what I
Me
go
too.
after. And I know that's not everybody's, you know what I'm saying? That's not everybody's preference. I understand that because I've asked a lot of people, and obviously coming from your perspective, Tony, like obviously maybe you don't want abs, maybe you do, I don't know, but your aesthetics right now and how you carry yourself is very aesthetic as well. It's just what we were talking about. You got the muscle mass to match how you carry yourself. Because I know a lot of bigger dudes that they got saggier titties, or maybe their traps ain't big enough. You know what I'm saying? To really match their, their structure, their status.
Facts, man. That's a powerful point, especially with you, Tony, man. Like yeah, you're a bigger guy, but like I said, you have a lot more muscle mass, and I think it really encourages that aesthetic for
I
that
think
class.
I think it does come from the years of training itself because you got some bigger dudes out there, and they got the no neck, broad shoulder dudes waddling around. And you could see if he put some work behind him, yeah, that guy right there. You could you can see if he actually did some work, his body could be epic. You could, and like the bigger dudes, they have all this potential. But this is a cautionary tale for the bigger guys. Just because you're the bigger guy and you may be just a little bit strength gifted compared to your peers, don't get arrogant and lazy with it. You still have a responsibility to your body. Eat well, train hard, and
Yeah,
keep going, keep moving forward. So that way, instead of you just rolling out of the way, you can actually tackle that fucking bear.
that's a fact. That's a fact, man.
Yeah,
Um, totally agree with that. Like,
exactly. I agree with that too.
so here's I actually have a question for you, Tony. So with are you do you ever feel like you would ever want to do that? Would you ever want to just kind of say, like, you know what, I'm gonna shred up. You know what I'm saying? I want to boom boom boom. Or do you feel like that just it's just not something like that you want to do? It's not something that you desire.
I want to say it's something I desire. It's definitely outside of what I'm accustomed to because I've been doing my particular method. And I think go back into the Marine Corps, that was my leanest at 250, 260. And say again.
I
Oh,
was just
that
saying,
was
excuse me.
okay. Yeah, that was my leanest, but it's still with the basic mind principle that I have. Now that I'm in a condition where I don't need to be as active running around on demand, I guess the weight the picked on, but however, the aesthetics of the burliness stayed there. Because even in the Marine Corps, even though I was the slowest Marine, hands down, freaking, I was still just the big guy amongst these lean fuckers. So do I really want to do that? If I hate to sound like a normal civilian, but if I had more time to focus on that type of training and try to keep my baseline of my strength training, maybe we'll see what happens with the body.
Cool,
But
man.
real world situations, got to work and got to balance out the normal civilian life. So we'll see.
Well, yo, I respect it totally, man. I respect
Me
anybody's
too.
choice of goal in terms of what they do with fitness because, like we've been saying this whole episode, everybody's different. Everybody has preference, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, honestly, I had to check myself because a lot of us we can move in sympathy, but think that we're empathizing for people,
Mhm.
and it's very easy to do that. Like a good example. So I don't really think like this no more, but at one point I did, and I would look at some chicks, right, and I'd be like, damn, she's a beautiful chick, beautiful face, very attractive face, but she's big, like she's very big. And I'm like, yo, if she was to get like leaner or like lower body fat, she would be a dime piece. And then I had to think about it. I'm like, well, that's actually like how I view myself. Like I feel like the leaner that I get, I'll look better. So, you know, instead of me being sympathetic and kind of viewing somebody else's situation on how it would affect me or how I would feel, I'm like, well, you know what? How does she feel? Maybe she feels comfortable at that weight. Maybe that's something that she want to do. Maybe that makes her feel more comfortable. So like I say all that to just say um, that sometimes we need to really really think about other people and how they may feel concerning their own thing and what they got going on because 8 times out of 10 it's not going to align with what we feel or think. You know what I'm saying? People have their own perspectives and we're all individuals, so
That's deep.
makes total sense. All right, y'all. So now what we're going to move into is health. What we're going to move into is health, man. I think this is probably, diet obviously is interconnected, but it's very important. Health is very important, and let's talk about how we can transform our health. I'm gonna start off with this one, right? And health, very powerful. I think it's something that a lot of us look past. I think, especially in this current age and the way that the world is, population, food. I said population, pollution, food, population. I probably should have said that. All of that. You know what I'm saying? Like all of these different elements. There's so many. What is it? Xenoestrogens, and we breathing in all types of chemicals and all this shit. we should be taking health more seriously than ever right now. And then on top of that, this quote unquote COVID shit, um, you know, all of this stuff, man, that's going on. I mean, I feel like it's very important in terms of transforming. I think one of the biggest things that we could do to transform our health and our body and health is learning about our body, learning about our body, getting tests, getting our levels checked in all minerals and vitamins, and see if there's any deficiencies. See what deficiencies we may have. Get tests done on our hormonal health. Figure out where we may be lagging and push to be at an optimal place with all of these different areas of our health and our body, like minerals, micronutrients, hormones, and find balance and find a healthy space. I think that's key, number one. Because a lot of us is walking around with a whole bunch of deficiencies and we're wondering why we're not getting results or why we're not getting the type of results that we want. We could be working our ass off and we're like, damn, why am I not improving? And it could really simply be because you have a deficiency in vitamin D or you have a deficiency in copper, you know what I'm saying? And you don't know. Or you have a deficiency in some of these areas and you don't know. I think that's number one right there. That's the first way to transform our bodies and health is getting to a balanced and a good space with different levels in terms of our bodies and what helps our bodies function nutritionally. Also, I think a big thing is inflammation. Inflammation. I encourage everybody that's listening to this podcast right now, this episode, to look in the anti-inflammatory diet. And every client that I get, every client that I train, I always tell them, yo, do this at least for 2 to 3 months, man. Just do it one time. Give your body a break, man. Reset your body. You know what I'm saying? And clean your body out, clear your body out. You know what I'm saying? Take on an anti-inflammatory diet for about a month just to give your body somewhat of a reset. Because inflammation is the key to disease. You see what I'm saying? Inflammation is mucus and inflammation. These are the major parts of disease, and that's where disease mostly comes from. Inflammation. We can name them all right now. Where y'all want me to start? Diabetes? Where y'all want me to start? Every disease, it's inflammation of these organs. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Colonitis, some shit. All these different diseases, it comes from inflammation. So I think that's another thing that can help us transform our body a lot, is deal with the overproduction of inflammation in the body. Lower those inflammatory markers in the body that will help you have a healthier body and it'll help you transform. You'll feel better, you'll move better, your joints will be better, your body will thank you. So that's very important. Also, obviously, eating a cleaner diet. But mental health, emotional health, mental health, this is very important to our overall physical health. If we are dealing with things emotionally and mentally, we need to do whatever we need to do in our power to heal. Because when we're dealing with these different issues mentally and emotionally, guess what? That starts to attack the nervous system. You're anxious a lot. You get angry a lot. You flipping out a lot. Well, guess what? It's all interconnected. Our bodies are all interconnected. You understand? Spirit, the physical, all that. It's all interconnected. So if you're stressed out all the time, guess what? There's studies that prove that high stress levels can cause issues in the body, raise inflammation, raise cortisol. Guys, the list goes on. So I'm not going to dig too deep. I could do a whole video on this shit, but I'm not going to do that because we in this one episode. But guys, these things that I'm telling you, pay attention to that. That'll help you transform. If you become more emotionally sound and healthy, mentally sound and healthy, if you deal with things within, lower the inflammation in your body, take herbs, figure out what's going on with your body and learn your body, you will transform amazingly. All right. What's your view on this, Tony? How can people transform, their body with health?
You have to make your health, your attitude towards your health more proactive rather than reactive. Don't let the inflammation, those chronic illnesses settle in. Oh no, now I need to go to the doctor. Now I need to go for a walk. Now I need to start drinking lemon water. No, this video right here we all discussed, this is really not new. It's not new and a lot of common knowledge. The thing is, you have to apply it. You have to apply it. Get that discipline established of doing the right thing. Drink your water, get active, lift something heavy, and keep it moving. That's what you got to do. You don't got to be the next Ronnie Coleman. You don't got to be the next Mr. and Mrs. Olympia, whatever. But be healthy and active. That's why I always call myself a gym rat. I got a discipline going to try to keep myself healthy and active. When it comes to your mental health, I'm a guy who likes to prefer to cut my losses. If something is causing you stress, it's time to cut it off. I'm not the type of person that will sit there and like to try to work it out or whatnot, because it's like, I already know what to do. You already know what to do, but I can see you're an idiot who doesn't want to comply to that. So I'm out. I am that kind of guy. I cut my losses and move on because I'll be fine without you. That confidence to be by yourself, that's something that a lot of people need to work on, I believe. And when it comes to your spirituality, my spirituality is the pump itself, to feel that glorious feel of the work done. So
Yes.
that's my spirituality. Okay, I worked to get this, and then you saw me show out a little bit on Instagram today.
Yeah, that was a big show out. That was a big flex. I was like, yo, that's lit. I love it, man. It's a part of being a man. We have to do that. We have to flex. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a great expression. Yo, we got a comment from Allie Downing. Allie Downing, they said, should you go on a water fast to kickstart? Now, that's a very, very interesting question. And yo, I'm telling you right now,
Kickstart
like,
your day, your week.
water fast. I think what they're saying is like to kickstart, transforming health. And yeah, I think a
Okay.
water fast would amazingly kickstart your transformation of health, because you're going to cause your body to balance back out. You're going to cause your body to, when we fast, it literally causes our body to detoxify naturally. We empty our colon. And when you're
Yep.
drinking water and water and water, you're also furthering the detoxification and the purification of the body. So yeah, that's a huge kickstart. You do a nice little water fast from anywhere to 1 to 3 days. That's a great kickstart to start off, because you'll be resetting your body. You'll be resetting your hormones. You'll be resetting a number of things. So yeah, you want to segue on that, Brian, on what they're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to say something. I would say, make sure the quality of the water too that you're drinking is on point, because I've
Bars.
seen a lot of people trying to drink tap water and think that they hydrated, or drink certain bottled waters and think that they hydrated. I've seen a lot of videos and a lot of studies on like pH levels on water, and how some water is basically identical to toilet water or tap water. So I
Mm.
would say just make sure that you're drinking high pH level water. Make sure that your water is either very distilled, cleaned out some type of way, because there's a lot of chemicals and certain things in our water nowadays that I would say that's holding a lot of people back just on not being hydrated, because I've known even people that have gone to the hospital that thought that they were hydrated and were actually dehydrated and fucking had to get an IV pumped into them. So I would just say make sure that you're drinking quality water.
Wow, that's powerful, Brian. Ali also said, is distilled water good?
Are you talking like, is that for
Yeah,
Yeah,
me? You want me to answer
yeah, I'm
that?
talking to you, Brian. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah. I would say distilled's pretty good. I preferably go reverse osmosis or something with spring water, or anything that's higher in pH level, like Himalayan salt water, because I've seen that too. So I would
Yeah.
just make sure that your water level qualities are on point, because really that's what's going to fuel a lot of your guys' workouts. Make sure that you're not being dehydrated through your workout, because when you're dehydrated through your workout, you feel it, boy.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Hell yeah.
It hurts.
You be about to hit the
it
matrix, boy.
hurts. Yes, it hurts.
Hell Yeah, you think you
Feel that?
good? You like, yeah, I got this workout. You be done hit the matrix. You know what I'm saying? You thought you was straight. Now you lean it back, hitting the straight Neo out this motherfucker. Be done fell right into the damn
Yeah.
dumbbells, man. Wondering what the hell happened.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
man,
water is
that's all I
important.
got for water, man.
Yeah, that was powerful, man. I think, yeah, and she also, or he or she, I'm not for sure if it's a he or she. Don't mean to offend you. Ali is a neutral name, but they also said 3 days max. And honestly, if you've never done it before, yeah, I start off with 3 days. I wouldn't even push it past 3 days if you've never done it before, um, because you want to get your body acclimated to that. Ali, okay, you or she, awesome. Yeah. You want to get your body acclimated to that, and you want to become an experienced faster. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people fuck themselves up when they just jump into a long-term fast. And you got to know the protocol on fasting. You know what I'm saying? You can't just eat meat right after your fast. You could kill yourself doing that. A lot of people. This information needs to be put out there on all my videos with fasting on my channel. I make sure I state that. But you have to follow a certain protocol with long-term fast. So do your research and do diligence on that, Ali. Make sure you research the protocol on a long-term fast, how to break it, how to go off of it, and a number of things. What's up, Brian?
They
You
say they
about to
say
say
the
something?
they say that yeah, they say the best way to break your fast is to eat watermelon.
Yep. Yep. Fruits. Definitely fruit. But they
Seeded
even say
watermelon
juice.
or any fruits. Yeah, or juice too. Yeah, juice is high concentrated in a lot of minerals that our body needs. But I would, even if it's not that, I would start off with something light and then gradually, work your way to bigger meals and stuff like that.
Definitely. It okay. And they said, is it good to try to work out fasted? Yeah, working out fasted is fine. But let me be clear on this. Let me be clear on this, okay? Because in certain situations it could be effective. It just depends on what you got going on. All right, so it is ideal to be fueled and to make sure that you are meeting macronutrients before you work out to make sure that you're fueled. Right? There's no debate on that. Now, there is some slight benefit to training fasted, right? But here's the kicker. That night before, you got to make sure you have a very heavy meal and it has to be high in carbs. All right? Unless you are ketogenic and you're doing what I'm doing right now, and you're going in the path that I'm going, which is keto. When you're keto and when you're working off of ketones and you're using fat for energy, you can get away with fasted workouts because your body is going to simply utilize the fat that's on your body. There's studies that actually prove this concept, right? I know I say that a lot, guys. If y'all don't believe me, look it up. You know what I'm saying? Look up these different publications. I ain't got time to be pulling it up and shit. I ain't about to go through that. But you if you're ketogenic or if doing a keto diet, you could get away with fasting or with working out fasted. I've done it multiple times. I felt great. But the night before, make sure you have a high carb meal. Carb the hell up that night before if you're going to wake up first thing in the morning and work out. And then
Agreed.
right after you get done, smash, eat. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get done out the gym, go eat. But other than that, so what you think about that, Tony? Because I could tell. I'm good at reading faces. I could tell you got some. How you
He
feel
No, no,
wants
about it?
no.
something to say.
Yeah, it did seem a little concerning when you was like to working out fasted. I would not recommend that.
Yeah.
But the way you put it right there, if you eat that meal prior to the night and wake up into more fasted, okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see because before I try to work out, I don't eat much at all. I just have like a half a bar just to have enough fuel on me.
Yeah. And that's super powerful, man. And I had to learn that the hard way. Let me tell y'all, man. On my channel, I don't know if y'all had time to really look at my channel, but I got videos on like fasting and all that. But a lot of my shit, it came from error, man, trial and error. I went through a phase where I was fasting too much. I went through a phase where, y'all won't believe this when I tell y'all, man. I would literally go do a full body workout, fasted on an empty stomach, already on a crazy caloric deficit because I was weighing my food with a scale and I was freaking weighing the food before I cooked it. So on top of that, my caloric intake is super duper low already because I'm not even freaking weighing it right and getting the right calories. These are the types of things that people go through, and that's why trainers are important. I went through that shit. That's one of the reasons why I became a trainer, man, because I was like, damn, if I had somebody to guide me, I probably wouldn't have made these mistakes and fuck myself up in the game. But you know, so yeah, trial and error, man. But I know the right thing now, for sure.
Hey, sometimes they say if the why is big enough, the how doesn't matter. So, more power to you.
Facts, facts. So, all right, the Gold Factory. He said, "What's good, guys? Yo, what up? The Gold Factory. Salute, man. Thank you for tuning
What up,
in
man?
to this episode and
Thank you.
checking us out, man. So, man, honestly, this is a pretty good episode, man. I'm glad that we was able to really dig deep on some of these key bullets and these key points when it comes to transforming the body, y'all. I think we hit a lot of stuff. Y'all feel well. I'm gonna start with you, Tony. Anything that you feel like you still could touch on in terms of this topic, just to make sure that we don't miss anything.
Um, when it comes to your body, a lot of people want to see their body transform. I believe the transformative state comes from your training. When you look at certain people with a certain physique, maybe that's not your physique, but you're untrained at this time. You don't know. So take that time to establish a baseline of training, a firmer diet, and whatnot. See how your body reacts. And that may be your ideal physique because you could be wanting to be super lean, but you turn out to be a big body like your boy here. And, that could be just not for you per se. But hey, if you're willing to go balls to the wall and train that direction, more power to you. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the work, and the end results will speak for themselves.
Facts, man. Totally agree with that. What about you, Brian? Anything that you want to hit on, man, before we wrap up the episode for today?
Just focus on your transformation. You know what I mean? Don't focus on anyone else's transformation. You know, try to take care of your mental health the best you can. I mean, I get that everyone wants to have the best body and the best physique, but mental health is huge important, especially in the gym. Like it's not that you want to make it fun, but obviously, you know what I mean. You got to go through it and you got to dig deep. I will leave off too with what you said on inflammation. I just wanted to point out that I have been doing saunas and I've been doing cold showers lately, and that has helped
Mm,
uh, just my overall health, as in like my joints and stuff like that, and my body, better sleep, like all around. So I will say if you get the chance to do that as well. And I wanted to end off, just again, just thanking all the viewers, and I appreciate both of you guys for being on this podcast as well. That this
for
is a
sure,
dope,
brother.
dope podcast, and I feel like this is and touched on a lot of good points.
Yeah, man, totally, bro. It's a pleasure, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all, man, and I'm very excited about what we got going on, man, and it's dope. It couldn't have been any better, yo. Like honestly, like I was telling my wife, I'm like, yo, babe, I just prayed on it, you know what I'm saying, and God showed me who to pick. I ain't even like it was just like boom, boom, and there it is, man. So I think that a lot of people are going to be blessed by this podcast, and we're going to continue to dig deep. So we got one more comment, and we'll touch on this last comment, right? I'm gonna step off for a second, guys, but I'm gonna let y'all
All right.
tackle this. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to use the bathroom real quick, but we got one more. Can y'all see that? Y'all can see that, right? Can y'all see the comment?
Can you touch on the benefits of fasting while on retention quickly?
Hmm. All right, brothers. I'll be.
I'm not the faster. How about you, sir?
Oh, okay. Um, Fasting while under retention. I like retention of like resistance training and stuff like that. I think that's what he's talking about. But if I would recommend any type of fasting while training or any type of resistance training, make sure you're not feeling lightheaded like while you're training and stuff like that. That's really a common symptom. Your body doesn't have enough fuel in it, and make sure that you're staying hydrated like we talked about, because I've seen a lot of people that are trying to fast, but they don't stay hydrated through their workout. So it really diminishes their workout like terribly, terribly. So fasting while working out, I would say that just go at your own pace, make sure that you're doing it right, and like fasting is really listening to your own body. I feel like you really have to listen to your body. I recommend it, and a lot of YouTubers do recommend training fasted. Like I said, you have to have certain goals, and I would recommend a high carb meal towards the end of the night so that your body has something to kind of fuel it off of. But like I said, listen to your body and make sure you're staying hydrated through those fasted workouts because that's what's going to push you through those workouts.
And then he says, no fap. Oh, the non-fapping situation. I've
Yeah,
heard of health benefits of that. I'm gonna let Superman, you take care of that one. I've
got you.
heard of
Yeah,
it, but I believe you have more information on that.
yeah, yeah. So now, and I see what he's talking about when he says retention. He's talking about semen retention. And there's been a lot of claims and benefits to it. I can even,
Oh,
I can even speak on it myself in terms of my own experiences. And yes, I have noticed a lot of powerful things retaining semen. Yeah, I have
okay, that's what he meant.
noticed just feeling stronger. Yeah, feeling stronger, feeling more energized, feeling like I have like this energy, and it's almost as if I can use that sexual built up energy to put it into whatever it is I want to grind in or do. But to go off of his question or his specific thing, he says, "Can you touch on the benefits of fasting while on retention quickly?" Yo, for real. And I'm sure Brian gave a great explanation on his perspective. I trust that. Um, like first and foremost, if you're fasting, especially if you're gonna do like a water fast is intense, right? Especially when you start going into the 2 days, the 3 days, the 5 days. I highly doubt that you're gonna have too much like sexual energy in that moment. You might after your body gets acclimated to the fast and you start to feel those benefits of autophagy, which is a powerful process of the body. Autophagy is where the body uses old cells in the body to create new ones. You know what I'm saying? And it reproduces new cells in the body. That's one of the biggest benefits of a long-term fast or a fast of 72 hours or more. Autophagy. Once you get to that point, you probably will like feel energy again. You might feel, may even feel, aroused in certain situations. So, I honestly think that if it was me, I would avoid it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't like fap at all or masturbate like during that process because to me, I think it's very spiritual. It's physical, and I think
Mhm.
that you wanna conserve all the energy. You don't want to really emit any energy outside of you in that moment. You wanna hold that in, and you wanna utilize that in that moment. So, um, yeah, I think it'd be very beneficial to not fap during that moment. You know what I'm saying? During that
Yeah.
fasting period. Um,
So this is
so
going to
yeah,
be the trend. No Nut November is now going to be all about health and retention, fasting. So we
I like
fasting,
that.
we ain't nothing.
yeah, it's gonna
It's
be
all
all
for health.
types of
It's all
shit.
for health.
Facts. We might have to start something, so we might have to make a new movement, a new trend. Like shit, y'all say no nut November, we're gonna make it, a whole package. You're gonna do four things in November. So, but yeah, so that's dope, man. Hey, that'll probably be a good episode in the future too for us to kind of dig into. Maybe something like that, no fap or semen retention. But y'all know we're gonna discuss that off air. But yeah, so but yeah, man, today was pretty lit, man, and dope, man. I think that this was an awesome episode. I think all three of us touched on some powerful key points that can help you guys, kings, men, transform your body. If you apply, like my man Tony was saying, if you apply the things that we are saying, if you put in that work and apply it, you will see benefits, man. You will notice transformation in your life. So like Brian said, man, thank you all the viewers. I want to thank y'all. Um, Subscribe, like it up, share it up, and we're gonna keep this thing going, man. So without further
Like
ado, man, if
it
everything's good, if we good money, man, then look, until next time, man. Thank y'all for y'all support and thank y'all for watching, man. Salute.
Take care, y'all.
you guys.